you got that goddess energy, it's in your soul, queen. Manifesting your reality. Say these words with me. I am perfect, well protected. I am so divine.
Hi, good morning, you guys. Pray all is well. Everybody having a blessed day, safe. I wanted to come on this morning to speak with you about a personal experience that I had experienced back in 2020 when I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease. And I wanted to come on and speak on that because I know in the world that we're living right now, everything is so stressed out, and that was one of the reasons why. That really triggered my thyroidism to be overactive, stressed and worried about making sure that I have enough and just basically overdoing it. I know around this time of the year, it really gets even more crazy around. We get closer to the holidays. People want to do this, want to do that, want to spend money on here, spend money there. Sometimes we just don't have it. And I know how it goes as a single parent. I am a single parent. My only thing different is my children are grown now. And I still have my worries. So when they get grown, you still worry that they're safe and they're doing that you pray that you taught them well of doing it, that no one hurts them or whatever. So you still have your moments of when you worry. But I want to speak on about stress. Stress is a killer. It is a killer. Matter of fact, it's a silent killer. I'm a type of person, if I'm going through something, I'm going to hold it in. You won't know about it. I try to, my face usually tells everything. But I'm the type of person that if I'm going through something, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it and see, can I fix it myself? I'm getting better. I'm in progress with it. I'm getting better than I was before until I learned that when I got sick with this thyroid, this Graves' disease, it really took me under. I never knew I had it. Again, my mom had hypo, but that's all I knew. And I had one cousin, I think she had hyper. And now that I think about it, I remember her, the signs and symptoms that she was going through and what she was going through. Now she's better now, but I can remember what she went through a lot. But I was at work one day and I didn't know. We got through seeing the last patients. Well, let's go to Wendy's. Let's walk across the street to Wendy's, get a Frosty. I'm like, okay, let's go get a Frosty. So we went across the street and got a Frosty, come back, and I take the stairs. I do not like elevators. I'll do them, but I don't like them. In the hospital at the time I worked at, I could either take the elevator or the stairs that was next door, so I would just take the stairs. And I was like, I'm having shortness of breath, but why? And I was like, why? Because I take the stairs every morning and I take the stairs every afternoon, so I don't know what is the problem. Why such a shortness of breath? So, okay, let me just chill. So I went to the room and sat down. I was like, I'm having palpitation, guys. I don't know. So the tech came in. She said, let me check your blood pressure. She came to my blood pressure. The blood pressure was normal, but the heart rate was 130. I said, oh my God, something's compensating. What's going on? So I spoke with the clinical manager, and she was like, Angela, go downstairs to the ER and let them check you out. I said, fine. I'm going to go downstairs to the ER and let them check me out. Went downstairs. They put lab work. They did lab work and put IV. But at this time, COVID was just taking off. We didn't know how to treat COVID. Everybody was just running. They would stick that stick up your nose, and they was just, everybody was just, I hate to say crazy. It was really crazy because they didn't know what was going on and how to go out treating what we need to be treating, what we need to do for the COVID. So at that time, what I was going through was not really, I ain't gonna say emergency enough for them. So when I looked at the lab, I was like, oh, my labs are abnormal. I don't think it was abnormal. He did a urine specimen on me, and that came back fine. And I was like, something here is not right. I said, I looked at the lab. I even looked at at that time, they didn't do a T4 THS on me at all. So I called, I went home, me trying to be me, trying to fix the problem. And I was like, no, this is not me. Normally I'm not sick. Normally I never get sick. It's not me. But I knew I was having some complications with shortness of breath, palpitation, and my legs would kill me. They were always aching. I was always restless for years. My legs would do that. And I remember going to the doctor. She was like, oh, no, you just got to put on the TED hose because you do the concrete floors. Y'all walk up and down the hallways. As nurses, you have to make sure you have on your TED hose. Okay, fine. So go back to that point. I go home, and I get in the bed, take a shower, and I'm tired. I'm worn out. And my heart was beating so fast, I took a pillow to put the pillow to make, I could actually see my heart come out. It was just like, oh my God, when is this going to stop? This is hurting. This is really becoming to be difficult for me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't sleep. it was just too much. So my dad lives with me. He called my sister. He's like, I think you need to come over here now. She's been in the bed now for the past. I've been in the bed like the past 2 or 3 days. I called her from work. I was like, I cannot come. So what I did go, I ended up calling the doctor and my primary, and she was like, Angela, go to the emergency room. And I was like, no, I can fix this. And she's like, no, you cannot fix this. Go to the emergency room so you get properly diagnosed. I said, okay, fine. So at that time, we went over to Tampa General. I went over to Tampa General. If you know, in Tampa, Florida, it's a teaching hospital. It's one of the largest hospitals in Tampa, Florida. I always hear different stories, but they took excellent care of me. I wouldn't go nowhere else but them. They really took care of me. So with that saying and being, I went to Tampa General. They ran tests and stuff for me, but they didn't run the right proper test on me. So I went in. They kept me for a week. They put me in because I went into AFib. They put me on Tenorol, and that's what he told me I had the hyperthyroidism. And they put me on steroids, but still didn't seem to work. So I followed back up with my primary a week later after I got the hospital. And when I followed back with my primary, when I got ready to get checked in, the tech was like, your blood pressure. So she told me, just check your blood pressure. So she took my blood pressure, and my son wheels me into the bike. And I turn around, I'm like, why are y'all here? The paramedics was here. She's like, I'm sorry. You got to go back. I'm like, what? I just got in the door. She's like, your blood pressure is 70/44, Angela. Your heart rate is 160. You're going to die if I send you back home. I was like, what? She's like, yes, Angela, it's getting bad. You need to go back and get proper diagnosed, because now I think you've been into grave disease. I was like, oh my God. So she put 3 aspirins up on my tongue because she's like, I don't want you to have a stroke, because she's like, your heart rate is just beating too fast. And that's okay. So we get in the ambulance. They take me back to Tampa General. This time as I come back to the ER, the doctor's like, oh my God, she's back again. I was like, yes, because you didn't do your job. That's why I'm back again. So we all just laughed. I was like, so the doctor came up to me. I'll never forget. He's like, well, this time, Miss Lee, we're keeping you. And I was like, really? Like, yes, we're keeping you. You're here to stay. We're keeping you. And I was like, oh God, please don't tell me. He's like, yes, we're keeping you. So they took me to the bike. They got my heart rate down. They gave me fluids. Quite naturally, COVID tested me. And at that time, only one person can come back there. My children at that time was in school. One was in Tallahassee. They were all over. One in my daughter in North Carolina. They were all over. So my sister was my primary for me. I mean, my POA at that time to go to for me. SPOA. So she came in and see what's going on. But by her not having no nursing background, she really didn't know a whole lot, but just know to be there and ask questions. And so they came in, they put me in ICU. And they put me in ICU at that time. I had them been in thyroid. I actually was in thyroid storm then. I had a temperature of 107. They could not break the temperature. They had to put me in an ice bed for to break the temperature. Then I had a C-section. My baby at that time had been 20 years old. The whole C-section incision came right open. I'm like, what? It's been over 20 years. She was like, yes, but the infection got to find a way to get out. And I don't know if you knew this, but I know the doctor told me that when you have a C-section, it doesn't necessarily mean it's healed all the way. It only heals up maybe 60%. It's not 100% of healing. And I was like, really? He's like, yes, I never knew that. He's like, yes, it's not 100% healing. So that was a problem. I had to do wound care on that. Then all my lymph nodes, all that came out. And then I had these big patches around my, they thought it was lupus because they like patches everywhere. And they did a skin biopsy. And then they did a lymph node biopsy to make sure that I didn't have cervical cancer. And that was the most scariest thing in my life. So I had like maybe 8 different specialists that was dealing with me at one time. And so they came in and they told me they did all my blood work. They said I have grave disease at this time. I said, okay. And they said, we're going to see, first I want to see what's causing this, because your weight has dropped tremendously. I've always been a big girl. I've always been solid. I mean, real heavy. Not heavy, but I've always been 250 plus girl. I've never been small. And at that time, I think I was roughly around about 300, which was not healthy at the time either. And I had been battling that going on for about a month. And when they actually checked me out, you wouldn't believe how small I had gotten, guys. I got down to 149 pounds in 30 days, maybe 45 days at the most. I got down that small. And that's what made them think that, wait a minute, this has got to be cancer. What is going on? Because she's losing too much weight. All my lymph nodes had came out. They had to do, they thought I had lupus. My old scar, C-section incision had actually eruption, it came open. They didn't know what was going on with me. I wasn't eating. I was trembling. I was real nervous. My sodium level had went down to 129. I was confused, guys. I couldn't tell you anything. I slept for like almost maybe 2 weeks. I slept while I was in the hospital. I had to have 2 blood transfusions. My hemoglobin had went down to 4, guys. And we know that's not normal. It was 10, 13 is normal to a 4. I was all over the place. All my labs was like in the roof. My liver was in the damn near the 200s. It was just, that's how bad it was. All my labs. So when they got me in, they put me on medication. They put me on steroids. They put me on a fluid restriction because I had drunk so much water and ice and ice and ice. I would carry this cup around with just ice. I wouldn't eat nothing. All I wanted was ice water. Ice water. I could never get rid of the thirst. And it was like, well, your sodium level is very, very, it's critical low. We got to make sure that you have your fluid restrictions to 1,000. You can't go over 1,000. I said, okay. So what they did was, she was concerned about the weight because I would not eat. I just could not eat, would not eat. So they put me on these things called burn shakes. And I could not, they were good. I like the strawberry. I hate the chocolate and vanilla. It was just awful. Like shaved ice. They had this calories. I guess to me, it reminded me of an Ensure. They just put ice with it. That's how I see it. But I did, try, but I just couldn't eat. And they weighed me constantly. I was like, please just leave me alone, guys. I don't want to be weighed anymore. So, remember, you have to be weighed. You're losing so much weight, Miss Lee. So when I went in to come out, when I went in there and I came out of there, it was just like, I don't know what was going on. So they kept me in ICU for about 30 days. So I could not walk. I went to put on the call bell to actually go use the bathroom and could not get off the commode. So it took like 4 of them to get me off the commode. It's like, no more of this here. You get a Plorexin. You. We're not putting you back in the bathroom. I said, okay, fine. I just couldn't do anything for myself. I was helpless at that point. I was at the mercy of hand of someone else. And I didn't like that feeling. So then as that went on, I stayed in. They finally got me together. And I was there for like the month and a half. And when I was there for like the month and a half, they did get the palpitation, everything taken care of for me. They got it moderated. They put me on medication. They put me on the prednisone. They took me off. Well, they put me on the prednisone for a little bit, but the prednisone was what that kept elevating my liver enzymes. I was like, this is not going to work, guys. So they took me off the prednisone and just put me on the actual blood pressure medication. The CCAN, we regulate the heart rate until we get it for surgery. But what I don't understand is that they never want to do surgery. I'm like, let's get the surgery done and get it out of the way. You're doing all these interventions before you get to surgery. So wishing a good thing it was good and a good thing it was not good. So after that happened, they ran all these procedures on me. They kept me there for over a month and a half. They kept testing me. I have so many ultrasounds, so many CAT scan. I had I forgot this other CAT scan they gave me. They take you in on the machine flips you. They did everything up in the sun for me. They did that to make sure that they properly diagnosed me with what they was going to diagnose me with. So they did do that. And then once they found out that it was Graves' disease, it's like, ma'am, you have Graves' disease now. We're going to put you on the medication. Then we're going to send you home. And then we're going to schedule you for the surgery, which I didn't understand why I could not get the surgery done while I was there. But I guess it was insurance policy. I guess Aetna did not want to pay. They wanted, which I thought was dumb, because when you readmit like that for the same thing, usually you don't get paid for. But by being surgery or whatever, they wanted to do what they wanted to do. So I was in there for that short period of time, and then they sent me home. They sent me home around November time. I went in September. I didn't come out till like November. And I was so ready to come home. I didn't know what to do. So in the meanwhile, while I was there, they had me get with PT and OT because I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand. They even had a bed alarm on me. I just didn't know what was going on. So they did send out someone at home to take care of me at home, PT and OT, in which at that time was pretty good that it happened because my son is an OT. So he came home from school. And he was helping me with the OT part and the PT part. They walked me outside and just as the normal therapy they would do. But I kept falling. That was another thing. I kept falling. I basically had all the signs and symptoms. Basically, I really had the bad end of it. I had the weight loss. The foggy memory, and I'm still battling with that now. I have to really think sometimes. Before it's better than what it was before, but I know this is not me. I know that the old Angela was not like this, but I'm working on it. God is working on it. God has me, because I could have been dead, because they had already basically wrote me out saying that, they didn't see, how I even made it that far, but God. Anyways, I had the weight loss, all the labs, because I basically went to thyroid store 3 times. I was not able to eat. I had the palpitations. I had the anxiety up in the roof, and I already have bad anxiety when I get close in, because I'm claustrophobic. It was so bad. I remember the guy that was pushing me on the stretcher to the next floor, because they took me from the 6th floor to the 8th floor. I'm like, why do you keep moving me around? He's like, man, we want you on the 8th floor because it's tested. We need to run on you, and you're closer to the 8th floor, but whatever. It was so bad. I got off the stretcher, guys, and I walked the stairs. And the man was like, what are you doing? I said, I don't know these elevators here. I don't work at this hospital. I work somewhere else. I don't work at this hospital. I said, I'm not doing the elevator. He said, ma'am, please. So he went and called backup security for me. I didn't give a damn, because I was not taking the elevator. Not on that bed here. And the elevator was this small. It was like the real best. If you put me in maybe a big elevator, I probably would, do a little better now. Well, it was funny though. So the guy came. He walked the stairs with me too, guys. I was like, oh my God, he's walking the stairs with me, but he did. So when I had been there for so long, and they kept taking tests and running me here and there, eventually I just surrendered. So you know what? Let them do their job, because I want to go home. I want to get, not to go home, but I want to get better. So let them do their job. So when they would put me in the elevator, I was like, across my hand and pray, but I was so out of it and so delirium, just sick. I really at that point didn't care. I just wanted to get well, because I was so weak. I mean, I was so weak. I didn't know, was I coming or going? I was weak. I remember my sister would come out and she's like, you're not eating. I was like, I know. I said, I just don't want to eat. And I could see the distress in her face, because at that time when my sister was coming with me, my nephew was going through his battle as well too, with cancer on his kidneys, and she was going through a lot, a whole lot. But she took at the time and still came to see about me, even when she had her own worries and everything. So with my kids being in school and college and stuff, and they was running back and forth, my sister basically and her girls, my niece, they basically moved in with me when I came home. So that was a really blessed thing too. So when I got back to the test and everything, they thought I had Hep C when they put me on the 8th floor. And when they put me on the 8th floor, I was like, well, we're going to 8th floor. He's like, well, we're going to make sure that we cover all base with you. So, okay, well, I'm going to be afraid. He's like, well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. So they're going to put you to sleep. I said, okay, so we go on the 8th floor, and they get me situated in my room, and then we take the test. So they pushed me to the test. So I was like, gee, I was so nervous. Like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do here. So I remember the guy taking me to the room. He's like, look out the window. You can see the nice dolphin. I said, I don't want to see the dolphins. I just want this over with. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to be this way. I said, but I'm just frustrated. He said, I understand. I said, but I know better, because I'm on the other side as well as being a provider. So I said, let me get myself together, because I don't like it, and I don't want to be that person, because it's not nice. So we go inside, and I'm on the table, and it's so cold in this room they put me in. The room is sterile. I mean, it's sterile to the teeth. I mean, it's ice cold. All the machines hanging from the ceiling. And I'm like, what the hell am I at now? What is going to happen? So as we were talking, I was like, I'm afraid. No, I'm knocked out. So he shot me up real quick, like, let me get her done now. So when I woke up, I was back to my room. They already did the biopsy on my liver. They see was any type of Hep C. It's like, nope, it's not that either. So we want to be for sure. So when they got ready, I think ran the test, and they did the biopsies and stuff on me. Nothing didn't grow. And it was like, well, we see what the problem is. You have Graves' disease. So that's what it is, Graves' disease. I'm like, okay. So when the when the doctor came in, Dr. Felicia, when I tell you, she's awesome. She's excellent, and she's awesome. She took very, very good care of me. And my endocrine, Dr. Maria Sevilla, she's with the USF campus. I mean, she's excellent, the endocrine. They came in and said, well, we give you good news, Angela. We're going to release you to go home. I'm like, oh, my God, thank you. And she said, Angela, you're cancer-free. All I can do is cry. All I can do is cry. I want to cry now, but I'm not. and just see how God, I was just blessed. I'm grateful. I'm thankful that He did what He did for me, because God didn't have to. He didn't have to do it. And me, I'm a biggie when it comes to believing, and that's just my preference, and that's what I prefer. Again, to each his own. When she came and told me I was cancer free, and I was like, oh, I was worried. I don't know. I have 3 kids. Even though they're grown, I want to be around to see my children and my grandchildren. And I did not know what to do. And I was just worried and worried and worried. So as I'm waiting to be seen and to go home, they released me to go home. And I came home, and she said, we're going to schedule you to have surgery. I said, okay, fine. So we went ahead and paid for the surgery, and paid for the, what is it, whatever it is, the copay or whatever for the surgery. When we got ready to have the surgery in December, my insurance changed to another network. I'm like, oh my God. So the doctor that was supposed to do my surgery went to Title 2, and I had a Title 1 on mine. I was like, oh my gosh. So at that time that happened, I had already been going to an ENT before that. And the ENT, Dr. McCuffrey, he ended up doing the surgery. So he said, Miss Lee, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you, the surgery right here at Tampa General. Your insurance take care of it. I said, fine. So make a long story short, came home in December, went back into thyroid storm again. I was so sick while I was home with those 2 months before January. Every between from I got in the hospital in November, so December, January, I had to constantly go get tested, blood draws, every shot the shipment like every 2 weeks to make sure everything was where it needs to be at until I had the surgery. So when it came to that close to that time, she was like, Miss Lee, medication's not working. We got to get you in there immediately to surgery. I said, okay. So I got past the holidays, did fine. Got to January, I started getting dizzy again and feeling like off the rocker. I didn't know, I was falling. I almost slipped in the shower. I fell in the kitchen. I was just I was just messed up all over. So she's like, no, let's get you back to the hospital immediately. So I said, okay, I'm coming back now. I didn't want to go back. She said, I need you here now. So I did go back. When I went back on the day before the Super Bowl. So the day of the Super Bowl was when I had the thyroids removed. They came to the room and told me, it's no more we can do for you, Miss Lee, with the thyroid. This thyroid needs to be taken out because it's overactive. It's just producing way too much thyroid. Too many hormones. This is why you're having so many difficulties. The medication's not helping you. None of this is working for you. So we're going to have to remove the thyroid. So, okay, fine. So we did that. We removed the thyroid. I went in, they removed the thyroid on Super Bowl day. I was there for like a whole week. So, because she wanted me to wait for the pathologist to be able to run tests and make sure there was no cancer and that I was good to go. And that's what, making sure that it was an overactive thyroid and not cancer. So I got the results for that, and that's what it was, an overactive thyroid. After the fight of me getting the thyroid removed out, I battled a while with that too as well. I thought I should go back to work immediately, and I did not. I went back to work maybe 2 weeks later, and it almost killed me. I was so weak, I could barely walk because my body went through such a traumatic time. And my doctor told me normally when people have thyroid, they can go back to work, but with me being what I went through with the 2 or 3 times going through the thyroid I can't think, guys. See, it comes again. With me going through what I went through, it just took a very totally dramatic on my body. It just really tore my body down. It just really made it. And I was at that, but even before then, I had been working and working and working so much that I hadn't get the proper rest anyway. And then when that comes on, that's like a double whammy. It was like I was all over the place. So I was home for about maybe a whole year. I didn't work. And I went to the endocrine. I went to the ENT, and Dr. McCarthy said, Miss Lee, it's going to take you about a good year. It's going to take about a good year for you. I said, he said, yes, it's going to take you about a good year. I said, are you sure? He said, yes, Miss B, it's going to take about a good year. I said, okay. So I left it at that. And he said, so Miss B, what I want you to do is make sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking your calcium, taking care of your synthroid, following up with your endocrine, getting your daily blood work, make sure that you're doing it. So he was actually right, because it took about a good year. When I did try to go back to work, like I was wearing mittens. I had on like maybe 3 or 4 shirts. I had to put them on up because I was always cold. I was cold, hot, cold, hot. But at that time, I was always cold. I was always cold. I had to have on a number of shirts. I had to have on mittens. I had to get in the sun because I was always freezing. And so I remember I had to be in the bed at three o'clock. I had to take a nap every day at 3 o'clock. It was no such thing. I could not be up after 3 o'clock. It was some days I would come home from work and pull up in the driveway and sit in the car, be in the car, just sit the heater on. The heat would be on in the car, guys. I would sit in the car with the heat on, falling asleep, and just doing all kind of things because I could not get the energy to get out of the car. And so that's when my children and my family was like, no, I think you need to get more rest and do more resting and healing and do a little bit more post-op care before you try to go back to work. So I stopped. I stopped work for at that time, I stopped work for like a good 6 months. And then I went back at the beginning of the following year, the next year. And now I do pretty well. I'm back to working full time. I just noticed I can't work like I used to. I used to work from one job to the next job. I can go to school. I would do all kind of things in one day. I'm like, how do I have the energy to do that? And all along, I realized it was really the thyroids that done that. In the midst of me doing some healing, part of me healing, when they did my sutures and I got that checked out there, that's like an old scar tissue, and I was cut from here to there. The sutures would not heal inside. That was another battle for Arthur. The sutures had they would not dissolve inside, so it was forming like a cyst, more like a blister, an abscess. It was forming knots everywhere, and they were draining like crazy. So I went back to the ENT that did the surgery, and he did another biopsy and CAT scan, and he's like, "Yep, he was right. It was the sutures. My body was fighting against it because my body was like, oh no, this is a foreign object. It should not be here." So it was actually making my white blood cells go even higher because they thought there was an infection. So he didn't have to actually go back in. So what it did do was it did form an abscess area where it drained and it came out what needed to come out, and then eventually it actually healed up. So even the after effect of me after having the surgery, I still had some issues with that as of healing wise because everybody's body's different. My body was like just rejecting to the sutures that he actually had put inside. The outside was fine. It was more of the inside. He did an excellent problem with the surgery during the procedure. My voice was raspy, which I already have a raspy voice already. But it was like, oh, you couldn't understand nothing I said. But I was afraid about that too because I know it affects the vocal box. So vocal cord box, but I came out with that successfully as well. So on that, with me saying all of this, with my journey of me with this thyroid, that I know that I have to be on Synthroid, they put me on calcium pills and all that because that thyroid helps produces all of those hormones that we need for our body. And I just wanted to come on here and just reach out and let everybody know what I had experienced and what the reason my experience was due to stress. And, stress is not good. And whatever we're going through, I'm learning. It shall pass. This too shall pass. I can't worry about something I don't have. I'm going to make do what I have. I'm going to do the best of my ability. That's all I can do. And I just want to come out and say that, whatever you're going through, if it's something that can be fixed, it'll be worked out. Everything has a time on it. Everything has a course that got to be ran. And we worry about what we don't have and what we can't do. Do what you can do. And if it's not enough, the hell with it. I made a vow when I started about work. I said, oh, let's run over and do an extra beyond. No, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's it. And if anything else I can do it, and without putting a screen on, I'm going to do it. I'll help you on that end. But anything over and beyond, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing these jobs come a dime a dozen. And the way these places are and these employment, they don't care. They just want a body there to do the job. And I see my mom go through it. She worked on one job for almost 40 years on one job. And I thought about her today. Today is her birthday. She didn't even make it to 60 years old, y'all. She worked in the medical field on one job almost 40 years. When she died, they said she was a good employee. And they kept on with their business, which they're supposed to. So when it comes down to me and doing right by me, I'm going to do what's best for me. If I see that job or whatever I'm going through, that I see that it's not benefiting me and it's causing stress, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because you're here today and gone tomorrow, going to the next second. I'm not. Are we going to have problems and difficult? Yes, we are. We all. That's life. That's life. We can't run from that. But you better damn sure believe this much show here. It's gonna work for me. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna work for them. So I have got this motto. I'm gonna take care of me. When I was sick, I remember when I was sick, the clinical manager, she called, asking the first thing she asked me, when you come back to work? She didn't care about my health. She didn't care about what I was going through. She didn't care about none of that down. When we come back to work? So I can come on the floor and be the nurse on the floor while she take off her vacation and rub it down to the beach with her fiance or boyfriend, whatever. She didn't care. But when he go to work, that was her main concern. She didn't care nothing about how I was feeling, what me and my family was going through, how was I making it? Can I help you with anything? No, she did not. So I go on to say this here. Love yourself. No one can love you like you can. And I'm learning that now. Even when it comes to any kind of relationship, you have to love yourself first. Love yourself more than anybody else. Love yourself. Because I noticed that. What I do notice, when you do love yourself like that, you form the best relationships. Whether it's work, romantic, friendship, because you understand the assignment then. It took me to go through all this, damn near 50, because I'll be 50 next month, to know this, to be real sure of myself, to love myself, to not to be afraid to speak up, because I've never been afraid to speak up. That's never been me. I'm very blunt and I'm straight to the point. Now I think it's even worse now. I'm just straight to it. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not bending over backwards for these jobs. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to see about my patients. I'm going to be an advocate to my patients. I'm going to be compassionate because nursing is my passion. I'm going to love my patients that want to be loved. Even the ones that don't want to be loved. I love them ones because before they leave, we got a good relationship. Because I know now. I know. I know what it is now. I know what it is now to be in the bed now. Compassion, all that is all good. But when you laying in that bed and you sick and you helpless at the mercy of others, that's why I'm real pecked on. Do unto others what I want done to myself. They ain't never been a problem with me. I'm going to see about my patients. But me going and saying this much, love yourself. Do right by yourself. Take care of yourself. Take vacations. I used to want to take vacations. I work. Some now. Hell, with that one vacation. One time, I was doing them every 2 or 3 months. Didn't care. I'm doing them. I wasn't going big and scattered, but I took my vacation. Even if it's just for me going on my front porch, put my feet up and put a cup of coffee in my hand. Say, you know what? I ain't doing nothing but today but have me a cup of coffee, and that's what I'm going to do today. Even when it comes down to that, love yourself and take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Yes, we all got to die one day, but don't rush it. How my mom used to say, sometimes you can rush it. And I seen that what happened to my mom. Just overworked. She was just overworked. And today's her birthday. Mom would have been almost 70 years old. She died too young. No. So anybody that's out there that's going through something on their job and you feel that it's not working out or you have a rough time, sometimes step back and regroup and see what you can do different. Because everybody got something different they can do. even if you're having problems, you might not handle it the way I can handle it, or I might not go through what you go through. But sometimes we have to step back and look at and analyze this thing like, what can do, what I cannot do. Because times are hard. We need a job. We need money. We need finances. And that's another thing, I'm working on that too. Like I said, it's never too late. I started late in a lot of things, but that's okay. Wisdom come with that as well. I learned something. You're going to keep repeating it till you get it right. That's so true. That's why I always say, if you're young, do it. So I scribe on my children. Don't wait till you get in your late age. Do it now. What are you waiting for? Do it now. When you're young, do it. Get what you're going to get and do it. Do it. But make sure that's what you want to do. So with me going on and saying, I can go on and on. I don't want to go on and on, but I just want to say thank you for checking me out, checking out this video on what I would say. I know it's all over the place, but it was so much that had happened with me going through the process of that thyroid that I kind of like, oh my God, I don't ever want to go through that ever again. Just take care of yourself. Don't let nothing, don't keep putting up, oh, I'm going to go to the doctor. Don't do it. Just even if you're afraid, because I was afraid too. And I was like, even if you're afraid, just go. I'd rather be I don't want to be too late. I want to make sure that I can get this problem resolved. So with me saying on that, thanks for checking out the video. Please subscribe. Help me to be open to new things. This is very new to me. I'm trying to break out of my comfort zone and do things different and grow. My biggest thing is about growing and learning and doing things new. Just if when you get a chance, just check me out. And if you see anything that I'm doing wrong or just want to say, hey, give me some advice, please do drop it in the comments. They are welcome. I just want all positive vibes here, please. I'm going to keep repeating the same thing. Again, positive vibes. And I want to say thank you guys for listening and checking in with me and subscribing. Look, like, and share. That's my thing. My own words. Have a blessed day, guys. And you'll be seeing me again and again. I'm trying to come up with new, different ideas because there's always something new and different out there that someone knows about something and someone's sharing about sharing. Because there's a lot of things I have known about just hearing from out the word of mouth. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's good advice for me. So again, please drop your comments down below and have a blessed day and keep the positive vibes going. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Sit on that throne, queen. Know you got that goddess energy. It's in your soul, queen. Manifesting your reality.